Hello, ni hao. Welcome to Mandarin Mama Chit Chat by Mandarin Together, where two Taiwanese moms, Trista and Yaoyao, share their experiences in raising bilingual children, exploring identity, code-switching, and embracing the joys and challenges of bilingual parenting. Come along with us on this exciting journey.
Hi everyone, welcome back. In this episode, Trista and I are going to talk about Chinese New Year, how we celebrate Chinese New Year growing up in Taiwan, and how we celebrate Chinese New Year here in America. Now we're older, we have a family. Trista will be sharing some story, origin, and history so you guys can learn a little bit more about what Chinese New Year is about. And I also have some story to share. Okay, let's get started.
So I'm super excited for this, especially right now we're recording is really close to Chinese New Year celebration, and this is going to be the Year of the Dragon. So let's start with the origin story. So long time ago in ancient China, there was this monster called Nian. And every year, he would come out and eat the village people. I know it sounds pretty scary and savage. So eat the village people. So the village people are really scared of Nian. And there's this one time, this wise man, he figured out that Nian is scared of the color red and loud noises. So right before Nian came to attack the village people, he gathered the entire village and told them to put red every single day. You know, they were dressing red and then put red papers, which is so-called the spring couplets, on their doors. And then they would display the firecrackers and with other loud noises and music. And it worked effectively. Nian was scared. He ran off and he has never returned since. Nowadays, how Chinese people or how people celebrate Chinese New Year is with loud music, firecrackers, firework, and then put dressing red and with spring couplets on their doors. And so Chinese New Year is a 15-day celebration. And then actually the festive started the night before. So on New Year's Eve, Chinese New Year's Eve, the family will get together, have a reunion dinner, and dishes being served all have meanings, such as serving whole fish, 年年有余, meaning this year would have a surplus, would be an abundant year, would have surplus, or 年高, 步步高升. So this would be a better year yet. People will be progressing, or 橘子大吉大利. So all the food that you eat all has these meanings. And the elderly would give red envelopes, 红包, which is an envelope that's red with money in there. Usually is the parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles give to the kids, the nieces, their children, and things like that. So this basically sums up the Chinese New Year celebration and how people celebrate it in the first year. The 初二, the second day, usually, I don't want to get too much into it, but like 初二, 回娘家, so the wives would return to their, I guess, for me, I would visit my biological parents, my parents' home, and things like that. So yeah.
And then we say 恭喜发财 whenever you see, right? That's how do you say that? 恭喜发财. Okay, I'm gonna have Trista to translate.
恭喜发财, basically hoping you have a wealthy year to come, or yeah. A lot of Chinese sayings has a lot to do with abundance, wealth, prosperity, and things like that. Yeah, like money related. Yes.
This is off the topic because I was listening to one of this comedian. I can't remember his name. He's pretty famous. If you guys see his face, you'll know it. But he was just making this joke. It's like, Chinese people love money. Do you know what they say to each other at Chinese New Year? Oh, get rich, get rich. They just want you to get rich. That's how they greet you. It's so funny. But yeah, you're right. It's just that during that Chinese New Year, that's what we say. 恭喜发财. We want you to, basically, we want you to get rich.
Yeah. So I guess I would say practicality, right? Because in the previous episode, for each other, we say 吃了吗? Food. So like basic needs, right? Food. And I guess money is a tool with satisfy, like buy you things and be able to provide you with life, a better life. So food and money play a really significant roles in Chinese culture.
Yeah. And Trista, not only Chinese, like people in China or Taiwan celebrate Chinese New Year, right? I believe Vietnamese Malaysian or Singapore, they all celebrate Chinese New Year. Yeah.
Cultures with the influence of Chinese culture, like all the different
Yeah.
countries under the influence of Chinese culture. So Japan, Korea, obviously a lot of Southeast Asian countries, because under a great influence of Chinese culture, and then even I guess people living abroad, like for us, right? But like our I don't know, our ancestors or our background, our home culture, we celebrate Christmas. I mean, sorry, we celebrate Chinese New Year. So I would say Chinese New Year is a pretty worldwide celebration. And
Yeah.
now, not necessarily Chinese people. Well, I guess I was a Chinese people. I guess not necessarily just 华人. Not really sure how to translate that. Not just 华人, but I think you will see even some communities in maybe like white predominant communities. They also celebrate Chinese New Year too. I think it's being pretty common and pervasive.
Yeah, I live in Houston. We have a lot of Vietnamese friends. They celebrate Chinese New Year too, even though they're not 华人, they're not Chinese. But
Yeah.
I would say they celebrate Chinese New Year differently. Even us, we grew up from Taiwan. We probably have a little bit different of custom celebrate Chinese New Year in China. So I believe every country would probably have different tweaks about how to celebrate.
Yeah, I'm sure. So today we're just gonna be focusing on my experience and Yaoyao's experience. Maybe it's different from your own experience or how you've been celebrating it, which is totally fine. Kind of Christmas too. Christmas is celebrate. I would say worldwide. I know different countries do it slightly differently, or even just within the same country too, right? Like people have different Christmas traditions. So even me and Yaoyao both are from Taiwan, but I'm from Central Taiwan, or even just my family, right? My family and her family are different. We have different traditions.
Just like we can go back a little bit. We can go back to childhood because I feel like celebrating Chinese New Year for me personally, it was more fun when I was growing up in Taiwan. We can talk about this a little bit. We can start talking about how we celebrate in my family in Taiwan when I was little. I remember a lot of firecrackers. We get to do that. It was really fun. A lot of family, cousins just gathering together. We eat. We barely sleep. That's the days we can like stay all night and we gamble with dice. Okay, in Taiwan we call shibara. Like you just dice and we really gamble with real money. But with family, with family, but not like a lot, but it was just fun. But that's just my family. They gamble and the kids can participate too. Lots of food. And let's see, what else? Hongbao, of course. Oh, we do deep cleaning. That's right. Like that's thing. Once a year, and the meaning of that is kind of bring in like better energy, right? And then let the old, go away. And then we have new clothes. All the kids get to wear new clothes, and we all like red is like a symbol of good luck. So better not to wear anything that's black or dark. And I remember it gets pretty boring at the end, like, cause no store, cause we're the kids, like no store was opening cause everyone is home with the family. If I want to go out and like shopping or go to a restaurant, like nothing is open for that. However many days, I'm not sure. There's a certain day that the store come back up, right? There was a lot of firecrackers. I can't remember which day was it. Is it a 4? Okay, I remember there is a day that's like, 开门大吉. There are a lot of firecrackers and the store it's like open, not grand opening, but like opening again and bringing more money, prosperity. Yeah.
So sorry to jump back to that. So even at the beginning, I said 15-day celebration, but it's not like the whole country just shut down for 15 days. It's usually the business, people who work, they go back to work on the 4th day. I think, 初四开始.
Yeah, I think there's okay, so 15 days. I know every day there's a meaning, right? The first day is, okay, family. And the second day is like, okay, going back home for the woman. And the third day, I don't remember the rest.
The Lantern Festival, 灯节, right? 元宵节. To conclude the whole festive. But I think people go back to work long before the 15th day.
Yeah.
Right. So how do I celebrate it? So Sibala, I think it's like 3 dices, right? And then you want to add 2 18, right? 18, right? Yeah, 18 I think. Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember the rules, but I just remember so vividly we played that. I was young, so I don't remember the rules now, but I remember we played that every year. And then people get really crazy. Ah, a lot of screaming and just happy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, very
Yeah.
engaged. It's a
Yeah.
really common game too in all age groups, I would say. So
Yeah.
in my family, we don't do that, but the grown-ups, I guess we would call like my aunts and uncle, my parents, they would play mahjong. And then with real money involved as well. So I guess gambling as well. But mahjong, they would play it throughout the night till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And while the grown-ups are doing that, us, the kids, me and my cousins, we also be hanging out as well, maybe playing games, Chinese chess, or just watching TV. And a lot of obviously unhealthy food like candy and all the holiday festival food. So it's a lot of fun. So my family is a big family too. So like and then because my grandparents lived with us, so we were always the one that host. So we would be at a house full of people because I live in central Taiwan, Jiayi, more like south, but central south of Taiwan, Jiayi. And then all of my aunts and uncles were either in Taipei, which is like north of Taiwan, or Kaohsiung, south of Taiwan. So we were kind of in the middle. So they would travel and stay with us during the Chinese New Year celebrations. And yeah, I would say really not much. Like we don't really go out during those days too. I can't remember, like you say, maybe a lot of stores were also closed, but because we don't really see other family members that often, so we mostly were just home buddies. We just stay home and hang out and cooking all day long, basically, and just it's chaotic but fun. Yeah. So and then we would obviously right before Chinese New Year, we would get ready, right? Cai we'll go shop for like spring couplets, buy new clothes, Chinese New Year celebrate decorations or like food, right, to prepare to cook. So yeah, it's just I would say most of the holidays are like for different cultures, like family, right, or gatherings, food, and I guess new clothes. So yeah,
Yeah. So let me ask you, when you come here to America, that has changed, right? How you celebrate a
drastically.
Chinese New Year? Yes,
Yeah.
me too, because been here for so long and it's different. We don't celebrate like that anymore. And especially if you don't
Yeah.
have family here. I
Mhm.
remember my younger days, I believe maybe when I was like college years, we will have a group of friends and get together, whoever's house, and we'll just eat and like gathering, like Christmas and Thanksgiving, we'll gather for Chinese New Year. And nothing special. We might eat like Chinese food. We might order Chinese food. And I remember we also played this game. It's also gambling. It's like a board game.
Mhm.
And it has dice as well, but the dice is not number. It's like a fish or pork, like different character. And there's like a sheet with different character. And then you put money on, let's say I'm going to put $5 on the fish. And then you just roll the dice. And if you get the fish, I think that all the money is yours or something like that. I can't remember. Something like that. And then World Subway, I remember there will be a lot of Chinese friend, Taiwanese friend, Vietnamese friend. We kind of all celebrate Chinese New Year. We'll just get together and celebrate. That's how we celebrate. But it's just like one day thing. It's not like 15 days. And no
Yeah.
firecrackers. We really don't buy new clothes. I don't do deep cleaning. So I guess different. That's personal choices, personal preference. I don't do deep cleaning. It's just a lot of that just lost, I would say, in now moving here in the America. But when I met my husband, when we were boyfriend and girlfriend dating, that started to change because his parents is here and they are very traditional. So I always remember till this day, my husband and I are 10 years apart. Okay. So I was still in college and then it was Chinese New Year. I remember it was like maybe doing finals. So I really don't, sometimes because Chinese New Year every year is different. The day is different. We have to look at a lunar calendar, right? So I don't pay attention. I just focus. I want to do good on my finals, studying. So my boyfriend then was like, oh, okay, it's Chinese New Year. We need to go eat at my parents' house. Okay. I went. I was in such deep trouble because I was wearing a black sweater. She was so mad at me. She was like, "What kind of person are you?
Oh
How can you wear?"
no.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And I started crying. I was like, ah. She said, "What kind of person are you? You wear a black sweater. How dare you to wear that to my house during Chinese New Year?" So there's a warning. If
Oh
you don't
no.
know, do not wear anything black to someone's house if it's Chinese New Year. That was a lesson learned because I moved here when I was 14. I think by that time, maybe I was 21, 20. So just a lot of culture of and custom just lost. I just forget. Yeah. So I always remember that I got in trouble. But every year we do celebrate with my in-laws. We celebrate with my kids. And also it's a one-day thing. There are
Yeah.
certain dishes my in-law require that we have to get, like fish. Like Trista, you mentioned fish, sticky rice, 年糕, sticky rice. I think some noodles, like for long life, maybe.
Yeah.
What else? I know she'll always cook soup. I don't know. Oh, you know what? I remember my in-law, my mother-in-law. This is a requirement too. She will give us a daikon, 萝卜,
Mm.
so daikon, and we have to bring it home. So we bring it home, and the first thing in the morning, you have to use that daikon and knock everybody's head one time. Do you know
Oh,
that tradition? Do
no,
you know
never heard.
why?
No.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know why either. I just follow her rule and I'll find out why. I think something about maybe also bring luck and have the bad luck go away. You just have to do that. She's very traditional. So she'll be like, you guys have to do it. Everybody
Oh,
have to bring a daikon, 萝卜, and then in the
yeah.
morning, I just, knock everybody's head.
So where did I?
Lightly, not very hard, lightly.
Yeah. Where did I
Yeah.
live prior to coming to the US?
Taipei.
Oh, Taipei as well?
Yes.
Huh.
But they
Right.
moved here for over almost 40 years. Long
Okay.
time. But
Mm.
they're still very traditional. And my mother-in-law is very superstitious. So, I mean, that is a whole nother topic talking about Chinese superstition, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's why I got in trouble wearing black. So always make sure you wear red, something bright.
Yeah.
I like to dress up my kids on Chinese New Year. I go back to Taiwan once a year, so I try to buy them traditional clothing so they
Mm.
can wear. So something they can wear for Chinese New Year. When they see grandparents, they have to say 恭喜发财,红包拿来. That means, get rich, get wealthy, and then give me red envelope. And they love that part. That's something we do every year. They get red envelopes, and and then we eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? How do you celebrate here in America?
So I haven't really been celebrating,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really have any family members here per se, and I'm just not a very like big on cooking. I guess because for me the biggest part of Chinese New Year celebration really is family, right? And I'm missing that big part of it. And I guess I could try to so I remember the one year I tried to like I looked up recipe, tried to, make the dishes that my mom prepares each year. And then I just me and my husband because we didn't where were we? We were in Baltimore, Maryland, but I didn't have any I guess friends in Baltimore. I had friends, but I didn't have any friends in Baltimore that also celebrate Chinese New Year. I guess what I could have done is I could have invited them over regardless, and I guess share the experience with them and almost introducing Chinese New Year with them. But I just didn't think of that. So anyway, it was just me and my husband, and then I ended up getting really sad, getting really
Oh.
homesick. One, the dishes I made, it just didn't taste the same as to how my mom would have made it, and it just me and my husband, so it didn't feel I don't know. And I think after that, I stopped almost like, cause that would just make me even more homesick, right? Cause I don't really have people here that celebrate the same traditions as me. But now that I have kids and the biggest part of me, I guess my why of raising my kids bilingual, or I want them to learn Mandarin and also my culture is so that the connection doesn't go missing or Like, I would love if we can visit Taiwan during Chinese New
Oh.
Year.
Mhm.
But with me being a teacher, I know like when the kids go to school and stuff in like America, the education, the calendar just does not line up. But as of now, my kids are not school age yet. If I weren't a teacher, I would be able to. But since I'm a teacher, I cannot take those days off. So it's like I've been in America for gosh, I don't know, over a decade, and I have not been able to. I would love somehow. I guess I would have to wait till I change my career, I guess. But I mean, like I would really love to be able to celebrate Chinese New Year with my family again in Taiwan. I just don't know how that's possible or feasible. But anyway, since I have my
Mm.
children, and so this Chinese New Year, this coming Chinese New Year, I'm kind of ambitious. I'm hoping to be able to celebrate. So I asked my mom to mail me some Chinese New Year's
Ah.
decorations and chunlian and just all the things. Just kind of decorate my house to be Chinese New Year ready. And I'm gonna make some dishes and I'm gonna invite my in-laws over. Actually, they're American. They don't celebrate Chinese New Year really, but just make it. That's my home culture, and I want to share that with my extended family. So that's what we were doing this Chinese New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also depends on where you're from. I don't blame you. If I don't live in Houston, if my husband's family is not Taiwanese or very traditional, I think I will be like lost. Like I wouldn't know what to do.
Right. Yeah.
And I think also I just remember because I live in Houston, we have a huge Asian community.
Hmm.
And during Chinese New Year, sometimes when you go out and eat and you see lion dance.
Oh
Because
wow.
we have a lot of Vietnamese restaurant and Vietnamese people too, and they celebrate Chinese New Year. So a lot of owner they bring in lion dance, and that means they want to bring in more money or prosperity and wealth. So they'll have whole lion dance. And the funny thing is, all the lion dancer, they're kids, like teenager kids. And I think that's so great of them. They are American born, not sure where they're from or which country, but I know they're American born Asian. And they're the one who did perform lion dances. I took the kids a few times. It's really fun to watch. And they have all the music and instruments. So it was really fun to watch. I can see living in, let's say, Ohio or like you say, Baltimore with less Asian community or culture is hard to, you don't feel the Chinese New Year, that the environment is different, right?
I guess for me, I guess now it's like, oh, I guess in the past I've been more, I guess, passive. It's more like, oh, like blaming on the environment or like, oh, always looking for something that's lacking. Like I don't have a Chinese community around here. I don't have a group of people that also celebrate Chinese New Year.
Mm.
That has been my mindset in the past. But I think now I want to shift my mindset to more, I guess, positive mindset that if
Mm.
it doesn't allow, if I don't have that, I can create it. I can start it. I can do it myself too. And I can bring it to other people, right? I can be the initiator. So that's my goal this year for Chinese New Year.
Yeah, and that's something I want to encourage everyone too. It depends where you live. If you really have nothing, you don't have that Chinese community, maybe you don't have the family. If you want to just do something with your family and your kids, I mean, just order a Chinese takeout.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Chinese New Year this year or
Yeah.
today. Let's just order Chinese food. I'm sure they're maybe not as authentic Chinese food, but there are Chinese food everywhere, right? Chinese takeout.
Hmm.
So that can be something. And then they can eat fortune cookie, maybe do some crafts
Yeah.
just to kind of let them know, okay, this is Chinese New Year. Maybe it's not as traditional. You don't have the fish, you don't have the nian gao, but at least it's Chinese food. You can let them know, tell them the story of Chinese New Year. And
Yeah.
hey, we eat Chinese food during Chinese New Year and we give hong bao and tell them the story about nian. You can find that on YouTube.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm. Right. And a lot of crafts ideas as well, or 剪纸, paper cutting. Maybe not just yet, but in a couple more years. Because I really like 剪纸. I am not the most artistic person, but 剪纸 is just really easy. I mean, obviously you can print out like chun and you can 剪纸, you can cut it out and there's chun, right? But then sometimes you can literally just make paper cutting art. You cut whatever randomly, but then when you open it up, right, it looks pretty,
mm.
some abstract art. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do some crafty like that.
Yeah, or can you maybe use a paintbrush and just use paintbrush with black ink and just write the word just for fun, right? On
Yeah, I do have Chinese calligraphy at home, the Chinese calligraphy set at home too.
Yeah, I have that too from Amazon, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the one that you can reuse over and over again. You don't have to buy the black ink.
Oh, so it's water, right?
Yeah, water.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Yeah, I have those too for my students, and they love it.
And one thing I also want to mention before we go, zodiac, because this year is going to be dragon. Can you share? You know, dragon, if you're listening, if you know, you know. Dragon is huge in the Chinese community. Dragon is a symbol of luck. I don't know why. They're just more superior. And I'm sure Trista can explain. And just quick note, the funny things, my mother-in-law's dragon, my husband's dragon, my daughter's dragon.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know my mother-in-law had my husband on purpose because of year of dragon. Because they're like 5 or 6 cousins. They're all dragon. Okay.
Wow.
They like to have a dragon baby. And then when it's my turn, I know my husband did it. That's when he was planning, okay, dragon year's coming up. Let's have a dragon baby. And just happened we have a dragon baby. But I guess just what you believe. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, that's
Trista?
funny. So I'm never really big on the zodiac. So I'm a monkey. My brother is dog. My sister is zodiac sign is tiger, which if you know is kind of frowned upon for a female, I guess, girl to because so this is another tradition, probably frowned upon nowadays. But tigers are like, furious and I guess like aggressive personality. And then as a traditional female role, I guess females were supposed to be obedient, to be a follower. So when you are a female but also dragon zodiac sign, people don't really like that combination. But nowadays, I'm not sure that's the case anymore about all strong independent women. So for example, like in the wedding, right? If you're not the bride, if your zodiac sign is tiger, you're actually not allowed to visit the bride in her preparation room, right? Like before the wedding.
Girl, I have to tell you, sorry, I have to jump in. I have to tell you, I'm a tiger. And that happens to me so many times when I was little. Oh, you're not supposed to go here. You're not supposed to go in here because you're a tiger. I'm like, oh my gosh. Even when I'm older, like my mother-in-law, she's very superstitious. There's certain things or funeral or something. Oh, you can go. You stay home. Just because I'm a tiger, a zodiac. So if they're very traditional and believe superstitious, yeah, tiger is not very lucky zodiac.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, so it really depends on what your home culture is. So in my household, we don't really, I guess, emphasize on that. So I mean, thus my, like my parents just had kids when they feel like it, not really looking ahead or planning on to have a dragon baby or anything like that. And then to me, the same way too. Leo, my son, his zodiac sign is pig, I believe. And then my daughter is a tiger. So I might have said otherwise, it just happened to be. But I was going to piggyback right on the dragon. So, like there are definitely people who plan ahead and want to have dragon babies, right? And then, so if you look at statistics, actually for the class of dragon that year, that class size was bigger just because more people have children that year. So it just some fun culture to, I guess, to think about.
You know what they say? My friend was telling me, because, okay, my husband's brother, so my brother-in-law, they want to have a dragon baby. They had a daughter already. She's 3. Now dragon year's coming up, and I know they're trying for a dragon. My friend was like, you sure you want to have a dragon? Just think about it. How many dragon babies going to be in that year? And it's going to be so competitive when they go to school or high school or try to get in college. I was like, wow, you think far? I never thought about that. Because I guess we have a big Asian community here. Where I live in Sugar Land. It's in like a suburb area of Texas. The school that my kids go to, elementary school, is 96% Asian. And that include Indian though. Indians and Chinese. Yeah, wow. It's crazy. It's that much. They are very smart. I was like, oh yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, I think this 2012, that was a year of dragons. So many dragon babies. I'm sure now it's going to be another one, right? Because it's coming up. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of new baby. But I think that's just what you believe. To be honest, personally, I I'm not really into zodiac. I respect it, but I don't think that will just determine a person's life, because they say dragon is superior and oh, you're gonna have a better life if you're a dragon. And I'm like, I don't know. I see a lot of dragon that I don't think they have a better life. So it just really depends. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So I think this basically sums up our episode on Chinese New Year traditions, celebrations, and the zodiac sign myth, I guess.
Yes, and we hope you have a great Chinese New Year, however you want to celebrate, however simple, from buying Chinese takeout food, or you want to create something, make something at home. We hope you Gong Xi Fa Cai and
Yep.
have a great Chinese New Year
新年快乐.
with family. 新年快乐, that's right. Okay, bye. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you love our podcast, we would love for you to leave a review. It will mean so much for us. Any word of encouragement and support, it will keep us going. If you have any questions, email us at hello@mandarintogethernow.com. We will try to answer anything. If you have any topic you want to talk about, please let us know. You can also find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. It is Mandarin Together Now. I will link everything in the show notes, so you can just click, follow us, DM us. We also made this cute dim sum flashcards and grab it from our show notes. All right, that's it for now. Have a good one. Bye.